Hey guys, Journey with Eric and Julie here. Welcome to 2024. Happy New Year. You're probably wondering why we're in our pajamas. Well, the easy answer to that, or the short answer to that, is it's 15 degrees outside here in Texas.
We're not used to that.
And
so we're
it's Texas, and we're not used to that weather. So unless we absolutely have to go somewhere,
yeah, we're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere. So we've got our fireplace going, and we've got the heater on, and we're in our pajamas with some coffee. So I think the weather's supposed to not warm up until like Wednesday this week, and it's Saturday now?
Yeah, Sunday.
Is it Sunday? Oh, slept through Saturday, all right. So it's Sunday here in Texas, and so we got a couple more days before we'll get some warm weather, hopefully. But at any rate, we want to do a quick little video just to let you guys know what's going on for this year. We haven't done a travel talk in a while. Do you want to
Okay. Ha sido tiempo que no hemos hecho otro video explicando qué planes tenemos para el año. Estamos aquí en Texas y está bien frío, entonces estamos todavía en las pijamas porque no vamos a salir hoy. No estamos acostumbrados a la temperatura hasta 15 hoy y pienso que mañana va a estar como andamos. Entonces, si solo tenemos que salir, vamos a salir. Pero aquí para hablar de qué vamos a hacer este año.
So, like she said, we're going to do a little travel talk. Haven't did one in a while. Got a few things to cover, but we were watching a couple of our favorite channels this morning that we subscribe to, and one of the channels gave me an idea, and I told Julie, I said, you know, we've made a lot of videos over the last few years, but we've really never, I mean, it's in our, if they go to our description, it's in there a little bit about us, but we've really never talked about who we are, you know, except that we're from Texas. I'm Eric, my first name. I'm Eric. I'm the Eric of Journey with Eric and Julia. And so I was born and raised here in Texas. Grew up in a small town called Boyd. Really small town. And lived here until I went off to the military and traveled the world with the military. And got out and started the profession I'm in. And her and I met in, what year was it? 08? 06. 2006. And married in 08. Married in 08. So we just had our 15-year anniversary this year. 15. This year will be 16.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm better at remembering than she is. So, anyway, we met at work and started dating in 06. And like I said, we got married in 08.
Yeah, and kids, and we both like to travel, so I think that kind of helps a lot. We want to explore. Hopefully the places we go to, everyone kind of gets a little bit of info, because that's what helps us when we look for places. We look at videos, we look at the rooms to see if it's going to be something that we would like or the kids would be okay and comfortable with. So hopefully we're doing the same for other people when they go on a couples trip or family trip. As far as me, I am originally from Guatemala. I was born in Guatemala. I moved here when I was about 6-7 years old. So I'm a naturalized citizen, and pretty much grown up here in Texas since then. Still keep a lot of traditions from home. My parents live here, so most of my immediate family is here. We're pretty close and do a lot of things together, and still keep a lot of what I remember and we love of Guatemala. So it's still very traditional. And of course, marry my husband, we have our kids, and we enjoy all the things that we do, incorporating some of Guatemala and what I remember and things from there.
And, you know, even though I grew up in a different culture, you know, I come from a big family as well, and a close family. And so her family does everything really close, you know, and so when we got married, it kind of meshed well, but I did have to get used to, you know, some things.
Yeah, we tend to do a lot of things together with the parents, and we're pretty close. They're always involved with the kids. Sometimes we go on trips with the family, with my parents, and they love doing all the traveling that we do with them. So, and it's nice because it's really something that we love for the kids, having that close relationship with them. I think food too. I'm sure our food's been different since we got married.
Yeah.
I'm used to the frijoles, negros, huevos, doing a lot of veggies and corn tortillas and those kind of things, and having hot sauce. So I think we've kind of meshed together, and we kind of have a little blend of everything. I think more Hispanic food now than so. And
I've gotten acquired a taste for hot sauce. Not quite as hot as her.
Yeah.
But I love hot sauce with all my food now.
Yeah, entonces siempre yo nací en Guatemala y vine cuando tenía como 6, 7 años, y desde ese tiempo hemos estado aquí en Dallas, Texas, o en la vicinidad, y siempre he estado aquí en Texas. Entonces para mí esto es lo que conozco, pero siempre hemos mantenido las tradiciones de Guatemala en la familia, que es la comida, cosas así. Entonces es algo que hemos mezclado con nosotros y nuestros hijos, y también acostumbrando como somos cerca con la familia, y siempre con mis padres y familia, que siempre hacemos muchas cosas juntos, y es algo que los hemos acostumbrado, y me alegra porque los niños tienen esa conexión con la familia y sus abuelos.
So, that's who we are. We live in the, I'm not going to give the exact place, but we'll say the suburbs of Dallas-Fort Worth here in Texas. We got 2 young boys, 12 and 9. We're trying to get one still asleep because he stayed up late last night watching stuff on his tablet. Scared. He's still trying to get used to sleeping by himself. And we're trying to get the other one to do his homework that he got assigned for the holiday weekend, because Monday is Martin Luther King Day. So we've got, luckily with the weather, we both got Monday off. And
all right, so I guess we can talk about trips we're hopefully are able to take this year.
Well,
we'll talk about our last trip.
We'll talk about our last trip first. Okay. Our last trip, we haven't did a travel talk, like I said, in quite a while. And our last big trip was Greece. Mm-hmm. Our last international trip. You know, we've taken a couple of small trips, you know, to California and things like that we did videos on, and we've posted a lot of shorts and local stuff. But our last international trip was Greece last year, and we went to Athens and Santorini. Mm-hmm. And it was an amazing trip.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. We loved the food.
Oh God, yeah.
We did a lot of walking. It's amazing how much walking we can do when we're traveling.
I do most of our trip planning and our research, you know, like Julia. I check the area where we're gonna stay and things like that, try to make sure it's safe, you know, which is always a good idea.
Yeah.
Before you stay somewhere, check the crime map and make sure you're gonna stay in a good area. Look at the street view, you know, when you go somewhere. and see what it looks like around the hotel that you're before you book it, things like that. We did a VRBO in Athens, and we did a VRBO in Santorini.
They both were really nice.
They were both really nice, and they were much less expensive than if we would have stayed in a hotel. And we had a whole, in Athens, we had a whole apartment to ourselves. And it was close to everything, all the attractions in Athens.
I think it might have taken 30 minutes walking distance, but it was doable. It actually was pretty scenic walk, so we enjoyed it. Got up early, went to, what's it called, the place that we walked to, the Acropolis.
Acropolis.
Yeah. So we went to the Acropolis. We walked there and had a good time going through there.
Well, she says a good time. I had booked a tour early in the morning, and our VRBO, our apartment we booked was
30 minutes.
About a mile by foot, but it was a little uphill, and then the other side was downhill, and then we had to meet up with our tour group, and we just had not very long minutes before the tour started when we got there, because we had a pretty good walk to get there and meet up with the group. And we almost immediately started the trip, and that Acropolis tour of the Acropolis and the Pantheon, I mentioned in the video that we did a video about it as well. You know, make sure that you take some water and some comfortable shoes and a good hat and sunscreen, because it's a hike.
Yeah,
I mean, it's uphill.
Doable,
it's doable.
Just know that it's going to be, you'll
Uphill.
get your workout.
Yeah, you'll get your workout. I mean, the tour guide, she told us she does. Does it several times a day. And I mean, she stops, you know, the tour guide will stop several times on the way up and give information about the historical sites that you're seeing.
Yeah.
But it is a little hike up to the top. And if you go, I definitely recommend, like I mentioned in the video, that you go early in the morning, because and we're the first tour of the morning, and she says the worst time to come is 11. So, and it's already getting really hot, and we started at 8:30. So I'll pan around so you can see how crowded. You see the crowd, and she said around 11 you will hardly be able to walk up here. It's cooler and it's less crowded. Sit. Good one. It's less crowded, because when we got up there, the line to get in the Pantheon at the top was just starting to get a little crowded. And by the time we got up to the top, I mean, it was, there was a lot of tours up there, a lot of people. And once you got to the top, that's where you kind of get released from your tour, and you can kind of go off on your own. I guess you could say the tour is over at that point.
Yeah.
And we, you know, took some pictures, and when we went to go back out, I mean, there's a pretty good line to leave the top of the hill. Here you can see the line to leave the Acropolis is much longer than the line to come up.
Ma questo è un gruppo però.
So be prepared for that. It's a long line and it's hot.
So, fuimos a Grecia y en Grecia fuimos a ver diferentes lugares. Estuvimos en Athens y fuimos a Santorini. Los dos lugares eran muy bonitos. El agua, todo era veo, la comida era deliciosa, todo era fresco, eran mariscos. Fuimos a Acropolis, caminamos por ahí, siempre estén listos para caminar. Tengan zapatos confortables, aseguren que tengan suficiente agua. Sí es un poco alto el lugar en donde fuimos, cuando caminamos hicimos el tour, entonces sí era importante estar listos para caminar. Pero sí, todo fue muy bonito, explican toda la historia y todos los monumentos que fuimos, pero sí, es algo que recomendamos si tienen el tiempo y la posibilidad de ir a Grecia y visitar esos dos lugares. Y tenemos ahí videos explicando los diferentes lugares que hicimos, los tours. Recomendamos que hagan también, what was it, the tour guys, we did the boat ride. Fuimos a un barco que tuvieron y fuimos cuando estaba bajando el sol, eso también fue muy bonito, nos dieron de comer en el barco y disfrutamos mucho.
Yeah, like she was mentioning, I had booked a day trip from Athens on a boat. Because like I mentioned in the video that we did about Greece, you know, we did several videos about it. You know, and I mentioned here, we're on our day cruise. We're going to Agistri, Moni, and Aegina Islands today.
Something to do when you're here.
Yeah.
Make sure you book one.
Make sure you get off the islands. Go. Don't just stay stale in one place. We'll see some different places. You can catch a ferry or a day cruise like this and go see some other islands very easily. So we're going to do some snorkeling and we're going to do some shopping on some of 3 other islands. So don't be afraid to venture out.
It was pretty hot, which one of them I got overheated and I looked kind of grumpy, but.
All right, guys. So we're here at our last island stop in Aegina.
This is the pistachio island.
This is a pistachio island where they grow pistachios and pistachio ice cream. And they have a lot of shops here.
It was not a lot of shade.
It was a different kind of heat.
I think it was because it's off the ocean. You're getting the bounce off of the ocean, and I just got overheated. We ran in there and got some water to cool it down, and I just had to take a break. But that's where we went and saw we got to do this pistachio ice cream, and then we got to go look at the Apollo monument or museum. So it was still a good experience, but yeah, just be prepared to have enough water. And it was hot when we went, which was surprising because we went in September. We expected it to be cool, and it wasn't.
It was a Poseidon. It was Poseidon.
Poseidon.
Yeah. Ruins of Poseidon is what we went saw. So yeah, it was hot. It was hot. But you know, like she said, you know, take lots of water, comfortable shoes. You know, they let you snorkel or swim a little bit, but it's only like 30 minutes just to cool off. And then you change back into your dry clothes and they take you to another island, you know, so you can do some shopping and things like that. So it was interesting, you know, we stopped at a few different places. I think it was like Aegea and Athena, if I remember right, and maybe one other island that I can't think of off the top of my head. Yeah.
When we stayed in Santorini, we stayed opposite of the busier part.
Yeah.
So that made a big difference. It wasn't crowded, it was nice and quiet, it was very peaceful, serene. Nosotros nos quedamos en un lugar en Santorini que fue el lado opósito, entonces no estaba tan ocupado. El lugar donde nos quedamos estaba bien bonito, estaba al lado del mar, no había mucha gente, entonces era un lugar muy callado, muy bonito. Estamos ahí cerca del mar, entonces pudimos caminar al mar y teníamos restaurante ahí mismo en el BRB donde nos quedamos, entonces fue una experiencia muy bonita y fue bien fácil de ir a los lugares que eran más populares. Ahí que rentamos un carro pequeño y eran como 10 minutos, bien fácil de ir y estar manejando alrededor.
It was nice to come back to have a quiet place to come back to, because when you go to the tourist areas, it's crowded, it's loud. The shopping areas, when the tourists are there, especially from the cruise ships, I mean, it's
Pretty busy.
pretty busy. And on the subject of cruise ship, I booked another day trip from Santorini, and that trip, wow, that trip was fantastic. We went to, like she said, the volcano in Santorini. We stopped at a volcano, and you could stay on the boat if you wanted, or you could hike up to the top and see the top of the volcano. All right, guys. So we made it up to the top of the volcano. Just about. This is the rim here. You can see the volcanic rocks. And it's a hike. I'll say that. If you go, yeah, take some water. Man, take some water and some comfortable shoes.
Yeah,
but we did a video on that.
So
Check it out. I can post a link to it. And
it was a nice experience.
it was a nice, yeah.
Beautiful sunset.
I would definitely recommend it.
It was a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, I mean, the view once you get up there, I mean, wow. I mean, it's worth it. And, you know, we did the, just to go back a little bit, you can fly from Athens to Santorini, but I booked the ferry. It was a little cheaper, and I booked one that was early in the morning. It was like 7 in the morning. So we're getting on our ferry, world champion sea jets, and
We got there by noon, I think.
yeah, we got to Santorini by like noon. I pre-booked the tickets. I always try to tell everybody, you know, in our videos to pre-book everything, excursions, all that stuff. I'm always encouraging everyone to pre-book your trips.
And the ferry ride was interesting. Cuando lo subimos en el ferry, primero no sabemos cómo buscar los asientos. Normalmente estamos viendo afuera, están marcados en donde las manecillas, ahí es donde están los números de cada asiento. Entonces ya cuando se busca su asiento se va a sentar, tiene suficiente espacio para dormir y poner sus bolsas, pero también tienen lugares donde uno puede guardar sus bolsas abajo de donde tienen separado dependiendo la isla de que uno va a quedar. Y cuando paran es diferente porque todavía están moviéndose, no es algo en donde se estacionan, vemos o paran el ferry, es algo que están todavía moviendo y todos se ponen en fila y están bien rápidos pronto, lo sacan a uno y de ahí el momento que todos se salen, cierran y se van, es algo bien rápido. Entonces fue diferente hacer eso, pero fue un bonito experiencia.
And the seating on the ferry was like,
that's what I was saying.
yeah, it was like an airplane.
Yeah, it had enough room where you could sleep and take a nap.
And they
with a
had
small bag.
a coffee shop and stuff. It looks like a huge plane seating. You can see everybody. So this is what you can expect. Snack bar on there, and you could go and walk around.
Yeah.
Whereas on a plane, you're just gonna be stuck in your seat.
Yeah, it's just fast whenever they drop you off and pick you up.
Now, we'll say this: if you ever, if you're in the market for a trip to that side of the world, to the Mediterranean, to Greece, if you decide to go that route and take the ferry, Santorini is the last stop because they stop at all the different islands. You leave Athens and they stop at each island on the way to Santorini. And so the reason it took till noon was because they stopped at like 4 islands, and I think Santorini was like the 5th.
But it's a quick on and off. When do you make the stop?
Yeah, it's quick. I mean, they port and they offload you like cattle, literally. All right, so we just got off the ferry. You can see everybody unloading like a herd of cattle. And then here's all the people waiting. And they put that ramp back up and away they go to the next stop. So we rented a little car. Now, just a little food for thought. The cars there were manual shift. So if you don't know how to drive a stick shift,
I thought that one that you rented was like part automatic.
it was part automatic, but you still had to shift. Still had a clutch, you still had to shift. You still had to shift the gears and everything. So you had to know how to drive a manual shift. So just know that when you go there, if you decide to rent a car. And on a side note, just a little side note, I would not, drive in Athens. We rented taxis. Uber worked there. Uber worked in Athens.
Yeah, my husband accidentally signed me up for Uber when he was trying to locate an Uber. Instead of picking an Uber, somehow he was putting me as the driver and created.
I was trying to put it to work. Yeah, to get some extra cash for more trips. So yeah, we used Uber around Athens, and the roads are tight there, and
they drive crazy.
They drive wild. I mean, I coined the phrase while we were there. I was like, drive like a Greek, because wow.
Yeah.
They don't.
I don't know how they didn't hit so many. There's like motorcycles, there's cars, and they're weaving in and out, and I'm like,
yeah,
hit somebody. I honestly thought they were gonna hit somebody, but
it's they drive very fast. Yeah, but they're used to it, So, but in Santorini is more laid back.
Especially where we stayed. We stayed on the opposite side of the more touristy, busy area.
Now, who planned that?
I'm here to go along.
Yeah, I wanted to give, make sure we had a good experience. I mean, if you want to stay in some people opt to stay in the middle of things. Like when we stayed in Rome, when we went to Italy, we had a hotel right there in Rome, just a few minutes from all the attractions by foot. But in Santorini, all the touristy areas, you've got cruise ships, you've got tourists, and they're crowded. And so Santorini is supposed to be a romantic place. It's supposed to be relaxing. So I didn't want to be anywhere near all that hustle and bustle of the tourists. So I booked us on our VRBO on the opposite side of the island, and it took us 20 minutes. 15-20 minutes by car to get from the touristy area to our VRBO. And it was a nice little VRBO. We got there, had a nice little meal. It was a comfortable little place, quiet. And it was
by the beach.
Right by the beach. Yeah, we walked to the beach.
The boat tour, they take you out for dinner, and they do a sunset dinner, and it's beautiful. You're out in the ocean, the most beautiful spot, and you're just watching the sunset, and it was perfect.
Yeah, everybody kind of just picks a spot. You kind of just grab a spot wherever you want on the ship, and it's a small ship. It was like two decks, but you kind of just grab a spot and they anchor out a little ways from shore, and it's the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I posted some pictures of it in that video that we did about Santorini, but wow. So if you go there, I would highly recommend taking one of those excursions. And then at the end of the night, we had some like Greek dancing, which was kind of fun.
So that was one, the most recent one, big trip that we did, and hopefully this year we'll see what next we have planned, or we'll go over that. But hopefully you can go back, look, take some tips, some of the stuff that we did to help you plan out your trip, and hopefully that's helpful to you. I think, like he said, booking the stuff ahead of time. One of the trips for the boat tours got canceled, and we were able to quickly go back, and he was able to book another trip, and we still had a good experience. We still got to do what we wanted to do. So it's very helpful to have those things available and knowing how to get to them. But for sure, we recommend it. It's beautiful. We enjoyed it, and hopefully y'all get to go there one time in your life.
So that's Greece. So we're caught up on that. Now for 2024, we haven't got anything, set in stone yet.
Yeah.
We've talked about, we got two things that every year that we try to take a trip. It's spring break, because the kids are out of school, and summer, because the kids are out of school. And we try and book a trip both times. We try to do a family trip and a couples trip every year, if possible. And so this year, we want to try and do something different. We were talking about, we've just been exploring our options. Really, we haven't, like I said, got anything set in stone. I was looking at, we were talking about renting a cabin for spring break.
We've done it before. We've gone to Broken Bow.
Oklahoma.
So this year, I think we would like to do the same thing, but in a different place.
Yeah, I was looking at Tennessee.
That would be interesting.
Like the Smoky Mountains, because I haven't been there. There's still a lot of the U.S. that we haven't explored. Our mindset when we started our channel a few years ago was we wanted to try to, while we're younger, do as much international travel as we can, and then as we get older, if we want to buy an RV or a travel trailer or something like that and travel the U.S. Once the kids graduate from school, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But at any rate, so spring break this year, we may rent a cabin in like Tennessee somewhere.
Yeah, so that's what we're hoping for. And then for summer, we were hoping to do it last year during Christmas, but it didn't work out with the timing and elections in Guatemala. We're hoping to go this summer to Guatemala with the kids and finally make it over there and get to meet more of the family that we haven't, my husband and the kids haven't met. So that's something that we're hopefully doing this year, and getting to see some of the beautiful places over there, like Antigua, and maybe doing some of the ruins in Bethany. So I'd love to have them experience that and get to see all that. So hopefully that's our trip for the summer.
I just heard a tornado wake up upstairs. Our 9-year-old is awake. So he's going to start coming down here like a tornado in a minute. But yeah, I've already started my research, because like I said, I always like to research our trips well in advance. And I always recommend you guys do the same when I give out. That's, if I have any tips whatsoever, that would be my number one tip, is research. Watch our channel, other channels. You know, hope you watch our channel. Hope you find it useful. We try to be. Try to give you useful information. That's the whole point of our channel. It's not just to say, hey, this is where we went. We're not trying to just show off. You know, we want to try and give you guys some
first-hand experience.
First-hand, yeah.
Things that you can use.
And it's not just like stuff we've seen on the internet. This is, you know, every place we do a video of is first-hand experience.
Like for me, when I'm thinking about booking a place, I want to know how many beds there are, how much room there is, because we always get, you know, enough to where the kids can sleep comfortably, and sometimes we'll have extended family, so we'll have our niece or nephew or our parents, and we want to know that everybody has a comfortable place to stay. So when we look at it, so we always look at that to see, you know, what's comfortable, and actually seeing a picture or video of the place helps.
And she brings up a good point. She's looking at different things as a mom, you know, than I'm looking at. You know, I'm looking at like, hey, this looks like a really nice place. It's close to the attractions. You know, this is what's around there. It's got nice restaurants within a few minutes. There's things to do close by where we're staying. That's the things I'm looking at. But, you know, no matter how much research I do, I've got to get my trip plans approved by somebody over here and get her stamp of approval before I book everything. Because like I said, she's looking at different things than I am, you know.
But hey, it works.
It works.
We make it work, and that's between the two of us. We are able to come up with good ideas, or
brainstorm,
making sure that we get the benefit of whatever we're looking at or expecting.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, just as cultural and husband and wife.
and you know, we haven't really touched on this. I mean, we're a blended family. I guess is the best word we can come up with for it. You know, we come from different cultural backgrounds. Our kids are half and half, you know, so they're going to get the best of both worlds. You know, they got great grandparents, you know, and extended family on both sides that love them to death and spoil them ridiculously. But at any rate, you know, our parents have been wanting to show me and the kids Guatemala since you know, forever. But I was a little leery about it when the kids were little. I wanted to wait till they got a little bigger, you know, because I feel like kids are more vulnerable. You know, I just worry about, you know.
Well, anywhere we go to.
Yeah, anywhere you go international. That's why we didn't take the kids to Rome.
Yeah.
And it was, well, one, it was our first trip there. And in hindsight, you know, that's another thing of, you have to know what you're planning on. And this is just a little, I guess you could say, food for thought. You have to know what you want to get out of your trip. Are you want a couple's trip or a family's trip? Because Rome or Greece, if you're going to be doing a lot of walking, a lot of sightseeing, you know, there's, you know, it depends on your kid's age, what their interests are. I know our kids would have been bored, and you know, they would have been tired. Our first day in Rome,
I think they would have enjoyed, but the walking and all the traffic,
I mean, we
back and forth.
We did 8 miles. Our first day in Rome.
Did a lot of walking, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it was worth it. We loved it. We loved every minute of it.
And we were jet lagged, no sleep.
Yeah,
but we made it.
Yeah, but you know, we didn't have the kids with us. Luckily we have the luxury of leaving them with grandma when we go on a couples trip. You know, but when we go on a family trip, you know, like I said,
yeah, we're hoping to bring them here now that they're a little older and they're more interested in it. and they've been asking to go overseas too.
Yeah.
So I think that
They're getting,
now that they're older, we'll get to do more of that
yeah,
with them.
we've taken the boys to Mexico with us once or twice.
Which is their one.
Twice, and like our 9-year-old, he loved it. So I think they'll have a good time when we go to Guatemala. And like she said, we'll get to finally meet some family. And I've already been doing research on Guatemala and places that I think would be awesome to go see. Looks like a beautiful country. And her parents, if they go with us, we'll have either her parents or family down there that can show us around. So that'll be a luxury, I guess, that most people wouldn't have, going to a country, a foreign country. But, we're looking forward to that. So that's our plans, tentatively.
Yeah.
Tentatively for this year. So, like I said, we haven't did a travel talk in a while, so we just wanted to give you guys an update. It's 2024 now, and that's what we did last year. We went over our last trip, and that's our plans for this year. So I hope it's not as cold where you're at as it is here.
Yep.
But if you're here in Texas, stay warm.
Stay warm, and we'll give you lots of places to eat around the Dallas
Oh,
area,
yeah.
Fort Worth area, so you can check those things out.
Yeah.
And enjoy your time here. But
And just one little thing before we go. If there's any place that is in the Dallas-Fort Worth, and it doesn't even have to be Dallas-Fort Worth. It could be, someplace in Texas that's not far from Dallas-Fort Worth that you're just like, oh man, you should really go here. We're always open for suggestions, on restaurants or places to go see, and we'll do a video of it.
Yeah, and we'll get back to you. I know we've had in the past the people ask about when we've gone to all inclusive, the amenities or the restaurants and what you have to pay extra if you have anything. So we're more than happy to provide any information that we can.
Yeah, well, if you got questions, leave them in the comments and we'll do another travel talk on it. So that's all for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative. Let you guys know a little bit about us. So until next time, thanks for watching Journey with Eric and Julia, as always.
And enjoy.
Enjoy. Have a good weekend.